happens if you drop a durian into a world of dinosaurs 80 million years ago? The Cretaceous, one prehistoric plain. And somehow, could this spiky fruit evolve into a car? Or at least make a gigantic Argentinosaurus rethink its life choices? Would the smell knock out a dinosaur? Let's find out. The shell cracks open, and 5 golden chunks of fruit appear. Sulfur compounds and fruity esters start filling the air. A thick, strange-smelling cloud creeps across the ground. Basically, somebody just opened a prehistoric chemical mystery box. And the first dinosaurs to investigate aren't the giants. A small group wanders over. They're intrigued by this completely unfamiliar smell. They push through the vegetation, and the leader gives the durian shell a tiny little nose bump. Bad idea. Those spikes immediately make him rethink the entire mission. He jumps backward and disappears into the bushes. Bro just got rejected by a fruit. Another one tries using its front claws to open the shell. The moment the claws touch the spikes... Nope. 3 laps around the durian. 0 takers. Then another dinosaur walks over. This one looks a little tougher. He lowers his head, touches a spike, and immediately walks away like nothing happened. Then a thick-nosed dinosaur tries. He pushes the durian forward almost half a meter. The spikes scrape his nose. 3 little marks. He makes one very clear complaint. And gives up. So the durian just sits there on the plain, covered in spikes. Nobody dares take a bite. Until the 3rd night. A thunderstorm rolls in. Lightning hits a nearby tree, knocking it down. The falling trunk pushes the durian. Crack! The fruit opens even wider, and suddenly the smell is 10 times stronger. And guess who's back? The hungry little dinosaurs. They've gone 2 days without a proper meal, so the leader carefully avoids the spikes. Reaches through the crack, grabs a tiny piece, and eats it. His eyes light up. This fruit is loaded with sugar, and apparently prehistoric fruit has just discovered cheat mode. 1 bite. Absolute flavor explosion. He freezes, then immediately starts eating. 1 piece. 2 pieces, and suddenly everybody's invited. Less than an hour later, the fruit is gone. Completely gone. Only the seeds and spiky shells remain, and dinosaur feet press those seeds into the mud. 4 days later, a durian seed sprouts. The loose volcanic soil is perfect for growing. Its roots dive deep into the ground. Thick leaves catch the light. In a world dominated by conifers and ancient plants, this thing looks completely out of place, like someone accidentally dropped a tropical plant into the Cretaceous. 40 days later, a young Argentinosaurus wanders over. He takes 1 bite of a fresh leaf. The smell hits his nose, and he sneezes like the entire Cretaceous just offended him. His foot snaps the young stem, but the roots survive. 2 days later, 2 new branches push out, thicker than before. 5 years later, the first flower appears. And then, prehistoric beetles arrive for the scent. First pollination. Year 6 brings the first green fruit, fist-sized. Spikes still soft. But then, the high carbon dioxide levels of the Cretaceous supercharge its growth. 30 years later, the first trees reach 20 meters, and the fruit can weigh around 15 kilograms. 100 years later, the tallest tree reaches over 40 meters. Its canopy covers a huge stretch of riverbank. Average fruit weight, around 30 kilograms. The biggest ones approach half a ton, and the shell gets harder. Small dinosaurs bite it and basically discover prehistoric steel, plus spikes. But now, the smell of that golden fruit has spread along the river, and the dinosaurs remember. One of the earlier visitors comes back for round 2. This time, he finds a naturally cracked fruit. No spike problem. He simply sticks his tongue through the crack. 1 bite. His entire face relaxes. A deep little rumble comes from his throat. He goes straight back in and cleans out the fruit. Every last bit stuck inside the shell, gone. And then, the thick-nosed dinosaur returns too. He pushes open the cracked shell with his nose and starts eating. His old nose marks are still there. Now suddenly, the durian tree has a crowd. More than a dozen prehistoric species gather underneath. Small dinosaurs push to the front for the leftovers. Beetles crawl over the fruit. Pterosaurs swoop down from above. Everyone wants a piece. Even a young Argentinosaurus waits beneath the tree. 3 hours. 3 whole hours, just waiting for 1 fruit to fall. Finally, 1 drops. He pins it down carefully, avoids the spikes. Tongue through the crack. 1 massive bite. He freezes. He literally forgets to chew, just processing the flavor. No sneeze, no retreat. He simply eats the entire thing. And now the dinosaurs have figured out the secret. Don't fight the spikes, find the crack. The sweeter the fruit gets, the more determined they become. Some dinosaurs start camping underneath the trees, waiting for ripe fruit. Others learn to stomp the shell until it cracks. The spikes didn't stop them. They became a filter. Only the ones willing to figure out the trick and dodge the spikes got access to the golden prize inside. And Argentinosaurus keeps coming back. Generation after generation remembers the same lesson. That river valley smells weird, but underneath that smell is the sweetest food around. Then a young giant wanders into the valley. He's not running from anything. He's looking for fruit. He lowers his head to drink when suddenly a giant fruit falls from above. It lands 5 meters in front of him. The shell cracks. That smell rushes straight into his nose. His front legs buckle. He drops sideways and takes 2 nearby trees with him. 20 minutes later, he gets back up and shakes his head. Then he walks right back to the fruit. 1 lick. And somehow, that's enough. 30 million years later, Tyrannosaurus enters the story. 1 adult T-Rex chases a duck-billed dinosaur straight into your territory. Then a perfectly ripe durian cracks open beside his foot. He sniffs, turns away. Then his throat moves. His eyes slowly return to the golden fruit. He takes 1 lick, and sticks his entire head into the fruit. After that, the T-Rex keeps coming back. Not to hunt, for durian. Millions of years pass. Your durian population spreads for hundreds of kilometers along the river valley. The shells get harder, the fruit gets sweeter, and somehow, Argentinosaurus and T-Rex are both showing up for the same snack. They eat the fruit, give each other a polite prehistoric glance, and go their separate ways.